Oh, it's not. It's showing you instead of me. This is weird. Oh, it's not. It's showing you instead of me. This is weird. I'm gonna mute you real quick, Brandon. Sorry.
Okay, no problem.
It's showing you instead of me. Okay. Hey everybody, sorry about that. I'm gonna mute you real quick, Brandon. Sorry.
Okay, no problem.
Long time no see. I know it's been a minute since I've done a YouTube video, and I just with the current status of this space, I felt like it was in everybody's best interest if I didn't do a video on any programs that I was participating in at the time, just because with the uncertainty of things going away, and I just wanted to make sure that I wasn't putting anybody in situations where they were constantly losing money and their livelihood. So, but I did meet some great people while networking in a few different programs. So you do meet good people whenever you're participating in things that are trying to help people better their lives and financial situation. So what I've decided is to collaborate with some of those people and bring you something that is definitely going to help you better your finances, better your situation, and something a little bit more stable and long-term for the people that follow me on YouTube and in my Facebook group, in my Telegram chat. And so if you didn't see it, the title for this video is Core4Summit. And so this is going to be a summit that highlights a few things. I have somebody here with me that's going to talk about that, and I'm going to ask them a few questions just to see if this is something that just to show you if this is something that you want to actually be involved with and take advantage of. And so the person that I'm going to be bringing up now is Brandon, and he's the I guess you could call it founder of Core4, and he's going to be explaining what our mission is going to be and what we're going to be getting into. So let me unmute. Hey, so you can should be able to unmute now, Brandon.
Can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you.
All right, man. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good, and you?
Man, I'm awesome. I'm absolutely awesome. Thank you for having me on your show.
I appreciate you coming on and explaining a few things to people about how this is going to help them get to where they want to get financially and save us from losing out on a lot of money that we have in the past.
Man, and have we lost out on some money? I mean, it's funny because all of the people that are coming to our event, Jackson, are leaders, and we're creating this whole non-platform event. You can't talk about a platform at this event. And the reason why is kind of with what you opened with. And that was, you didn't want people to lose any more money, so you stopped doing YouTube videos. That's just what you said, right?
That's accurate.
And so, I am actually in that same space with you. And so many other people are in that space. And even though we're sharing our journey, we have to kind of understand what a platform is. A platform should basically be called a slot machine, where you're walking out of a casino and you just drop your money in. And if you turn around and it rings and it says you won, great. But if not, you can't expect to do anything with that. And it's almost designed for us to lose. And then, when I first got in, I don't know, the term is HYPE, high yield investment program, or whatever else. And so then you had these hypes, and then you had platforms. I was like, well, I'll never do a hype again. I'm only going to do a platform. And that was because my mind was like, oh, these are acceptable to do. And the reality is it wasn't. And I over leveraged. I watched a whole bunch of my friends and my family over leverage, and they just lost everything, Jackson. And it hurt, to see, not just because they followed my journey, but I was a part of them losing while I'm hurting because I'm losing. And so, as much as I love crypto, the concept of it, decentralized space, all the rest of that, I had to figure out really how to play in this space to sustain and to be around leaders like yourself and Bank of Gerald and Terrence Pounds and I mean, gosh, Anthony Deloach and Ahmed Hazel and Rashid Hill and Lambo Drew. I mean, the list, Sassy and Kojo and Stan Rich. I mean, the list goes on and on with people that feel just like you and I do.
Oh yeah. Yeah, this space is getting kind of I think what was the word I used earlier? I don't I still have some stuff that I do right, but we just have to be careful, and the saying, don't risk more than you can afford to lose. For some reason, I don't think a lot of people take that advice into consideration with some of these things, but it's like we're beating a dead horse when we say it every time, and then at the end, or when something does happen, it's like, oh, I put my mortgage in there and I thought I was going to get it back by, like, what? That's
Yeah,
not, we never told you to do that. Actually, we advise you against that, which we don't give financial advice, but at the end of the day, it is what it is. Like, we definitely have to be more careful about what we're putting our money to, and understanding the risk. Like you said, casino, like when you go in the casino and you lose money, you don't go and try to get the casino shut down, but
yeah,
you come back next week to try to win your money
exactly.
back. And
Yeah.
so it can get kind of crazy whenever we're dealing with things like that. And we're just looking for something that's going to be around, um, and help us get to where we want to be financially.
Well, I mean, from a leader's perspective, I'm sure your community definitely wants to hear that, and I tell people that it's almost like an addiction. When you get to these platforms, you have some monicum of success and you're like, okay, I can do it again. I can do it again. And this space is a little bit more complicated. And that's because you don't necessarily have to bring anybody in, and you can still make some money if you get in early enough.
Mm.
And that's the twist of this, where in traditional multi-level marketing or in straight Ponzi's, you have to bring somebody in order for you to get paid out. So I I think that there has to be a deeper level of education, psychology that has to happen. And as a leader and colleagues that are leaders, for you guys to come to our event that we're hosting in December and really make it a part of you, because I'm going to tell you what Core 4 is all about. I'm going to tell your community what it's about. You already know what it's about. But we need to have a way to not only educate, but create strategies for our community so that they have accountability in the planning, as opposed to letting them kind of figure it out themselves. They look to us, even though we're not providing financial advice, but they look to us as leaders. And they're saying, okay, well, Brandon's doing it, Jackson's doing it, Terrence is doing it. So I'm just going to go all in since they're doing it. I saw 3 different videos or whatever. And so I know if they're in, I'm in. That can't be the mindset. So I wanted to create an experience for our community collectively to where we actually have a plan. You can't go to somebody's house without a GPS. You can't go without a roadmap. So if you join into this space without a roadmap, you're not going to be successful. When you go to class, college, or you're in high school, they have a syllabus, they have a plan, because at the end of the plan, there's a certain expectation of success if you follow the right steps. And so, because this space is so called unregulated and it's decentralized, there's really no plan. And so, that gives people like yourself and all the other leaders that are coming to this event an opportunity to help our community get a plan and actually be accountable to that plan. Because Core 4 is, and I'm just going to go into it, but Core 4 is about 4 separate things that are going to help you to be successful. So number one, it's passive income. Does that include platforms? Yeah, you can't avoid people being exposed to platforms, but you can help them with the strategy. But that also includes in crypto investing, it includes mining, it includes DeFi, it includes, but it also includes Forex, where you can trade and create opportunities for yourself or somebody else can trade for you. It includes prop firms. It includes private membership groups like PMGs. It includes blockchain opportunities that might be out there that are very transparent. So that's the first thing that Core4 is all about. And we're all appealed to that because we want to learn how we can make passive income. But there's also the second, which is asset management. And what does asset management include? Asset management is like stocks, options, it's fractional real estate, it's either fractional or whole mortgage-backed securities that you might purchase, get involved in. It's metals. So you got gold, you got silver, you even have oil. And then you also have, like other, give you an example, fractional art now. They have that where you can actually hold this asset and let it grow, still becomes passive income, but it's an asset. So that's number 2 in the Core4 initiative. Number 3 are financial instruments. So a lot of people don't realize that insurance is really a financial tool. It's not just a death benefit. But until we understand it in an environment where we feel safe, where we can learn and we can have a strategy, a lot of times we can't dive deep into that financial instrument because we don't understand it. So there are insurance policies that you can use as an investment tool and not just a death benefit tool. So we're living, let's use this money now and let's use it wisely and ensure our investments. And so that also gives you business credit line opportunities. Let's use other people's money in our investments that are safe, as opposed to, which also gives higher yields, but let's use other people's money as opposed to using just our own. And so that would help us through a lot of the transitions that we might have. And that then takes me to the final part, and that's corporate structure. So Jackson, a lot of times, you make this money, you have all this money that's, sitting right there in front of you. And unfortunately, what happens with this, you don't know how to pay taxes, you don't know what to do, you don't know anything.
The sound went out for some reason.
Did I lose you?
There you go. I hear you now.
Okay. Let me just see one thing here. Okay, so you can hear me okay?
Yep, I can hear you.
Okay, cool. So, so in this space, how do you separate your income from your Social Security number? So we're not telling anybody that you can evade paying taxes, but you the corporate structure to help you so that you can limit the amount of taxes in your exposure. And so that's what Core4 is all about. And that's what our event is all about. And so we're just super excited about, bringing this event and having, the leadership like yourself and others to kind of join us.
Oh, that's awesome. And so, yeah, I think we had definitely had a conversation about this and how this was what we kind of needed to go to the, I would say, the next level of helping people after they make the money. And so, like I said, there are platforms that we are in that we're gonna take advantage of, but we just got to know the risk involved, and like you said, having a plan to make sure that those funds are going to something that's gonna last even longer time, in a longer term. And so, I did have a few questions. You answered the first two, and so I guess the next question would be, why should someone come to the event?
Oh, really? I'm a basketball trainer by trade. So I played college basketball. I played high school, obviously. And so in order to be successful at anything, you have to kind of get together in a group. You have to be around like-minded people. And so a lot of times when we go to an event or we go to a meeting or whatever else, that's a wonderful experience. But we're not able to really connect to really what the source is that we're trying to identify with. And that's obviously how to be successful financially and sustain in this space. Our event is bringing some of the most brilliant people. We all started out as affiliates, but we're bringing some of the most brilliant people to one location. And because it's not about a platform or an affiliate link, there's no egos, there's no competition, it's just all love. And so our goal is to help our community win. We have got crypto fatigue in so many different ways, even though we love the space. So coming to this event will give you an opportunity to hear from subject matter experts. And I tell all of my students this, you have to be a subject matter expert, you have to become the best version of yourself, and you have to surround yourself with people who inspire you. And so if you do those three things, then you have a shot. If you don't, and you just kind of stay within yourself or your community of knowledge, you're going to have a problem getting to the next level. So coming to this event kind of solves, I'm going to be around subject matter experts, which will give me better knowledge. Number two, I'm being the best version of myself because I'm leaving the environment that I'm in and I'm trying to have professional development and personal development. And then finally, you know, the people that are going to be here are just flat out, they're all-stars, Jackson. They're flat out all-stars. So that's why someone would come to this event.
Awesome. I'm looking forward to it. And again, I guess we kind of mentioned it earlier. The dates for that is December 1st and December 2nd.
Yep.
The actual event is going to be on the 2nd, that Saturday. And so
Correct.
I'll put in the description the more details as far as like where you can find that info and get signed up. And I also have two I guess $100 discounts and I'll be able to give you that, give somebody that discount. I'm not sure how I'm gonna exactly do that yet, but we'll figure it out. Maybe do I don't want to say a raffle, but like the spin wheel. We just have people in the comments say, I want to go. And so I'll do a live video on doing the spin wheel, and I'll get all the people that put that in the comments here, and I'll put in the spin wheel. Just make sure if you do put I want to go, put your name, first and last name beside that, so I'll know who it is, because I'm sure there'll be multiple people with the same first name in the comments. So I appreciate it. All right.
Yep.
So go ahead.
So I was just going to say, so, you know, like you just said, so Friday night is registration from 6:30 to 9:30, and then Saturday is go time. So we get started around 8 a.m. and then we go all the way till 8 p.m. and dinner is served. The cost of the event and the location, the cost is $350. And then you got the 2 tickets that you're going to be able to give $100 off for. The location is at the Hyatt Crystal City, which is in Virginia. It's in Northern Virginia, right next to, you know, the Pentagon, right next to the Washington Monument. It's actually a beautiful location in the city that we're having it at. And so, you know, I tell people all the time, they're like, can we come a couple of days early so we can go sightseeing? The museums are right there. You can stay on Sunday, do whatever you guys want to do. So, you know, it's really going to be extraordinary to be in the city. It's going to be great.
Yeah, I was doing a little looking around whenever I was trying to make sure I knew where the airport was and the hotel I was staying at, to make sure I could get there in a certain time. It's like you got to do all that coordination before.
You got to get there Thursday, Claire. You got to get there early. So, but yeah, so a lot of this is going to be, you know, you want to get your tickets early. We have a website. It's Core4Summit.com, and it's going to have everything. It's going to have the, you know, the hotels in the area. It's going to have how to register. It's going to have everything you're going to need to be successful for the event.
Yep, definitely. Could you say that website again? I think you froze in the middle of it.
Oh, sure. So it's Core, C-O-R-E, the number 4 Summit,
SUMMIT.com, Core4Summit.com.
Awesome. I appreciate it. And so I guess getting back to the questions, what separates the info that I would get as a person that's coming to the event from the info I can get from a YouTube leader?
Wow. That's a great question. And I don't want to be disrespectful to the community, but sometimes when you turn on YouTube, you have no idea what you're going to get. You have no idea. And so just because somebody puts it out, you don't really know if they refabricated the information or, how it was put together. At our event, we have subject matter experts that are actually coming to present ways of making money. That's real. That's the way they're living their lives. And you'll be able to see them, touch them, hear them, talk to them. And so that's number one. So you got real subject matter experts. And we're not saying that you can't find subject matter expertise on YouTube, but we're just saying that you can't laser your way, like we talked about a roadmap, to find the successful person and then somebody that's there to answer your questions right there on the spot, or from a networking perspective, be able to help you to come together with those individuals after to really set up a successful plan for yourself. So the biggest part of it is, we take a look at the learning that we did with, I have kids and you have kids, and we look at COVID. And unfortunately, when our kids were sitting at home on YouTube, just or doing Zooms like we're kind of doing here, were they really maximizing their educational opportunities? And the answer is no. And so that's why after COVID, it wasn't, hey, this was amazing, let's keep everybody home and learning. They said, no, let's get everybody back to school, because in person is the best way for us to really get the education efficiently, effectively, so that we can thrive. So that would be the answer to your question.
Awesome. That was just what I was looking for. All right. So what are the topics of discussion you'll be covering? You kind of went over this earlier.
I did.
We'll go
Sure.
to the next
So we know that we're not going to be talking about platforms, right? But we for sure are going to be talking about private membership groups that might be available at that particular time. We're talking about prop firms. We're talking about fractional real estate. We're talking about fractional mortgage-backed securities. We're talking about like insurance, like we talked about, as an investment vehicle as opposed to just a death benefit. We're talking about corporate structure. We're talking about business credit. So you can, use other people's money to be successful as opposed to just using your own, and how that really works, which is huge. And so we have a lot of wonderful people that are engaging with us in this process to really bring us some cutting edge material on how we can set up our strategies for ourselves.
Awesome. So the next one, so I got like 3 or 4 more questions for you. But,
take your time.
Why are we not talking about platforms during this event?
So you could probably say, and this is just you and I talking, name a platform that you've been in that's still here.
It's only really one.
Name it.
Daisy.
Exactly. And is Daisy performing like it was?
No, it's not. Not exactly how it is.
I mean, we're just having a real conversation here. And how many people want to pay 30% plus all the fees, plus all the other stuff that goes into doing Daisy? It's difficult.
Yeah. Unless you're really coming in with a significant amount of money, the fees will eat at your profits.
For sure. For sure. And so we're not even saying that it's rugging, right? But we're going to say that there's only one project, and you and I both are in it, that is still here after we've been in the space how many years?
It'll be 3 years and 2 months.
Exactly. That's complicated, Jackson. So I don't want to have somebody promote a program or a platform at the event, and then 2 weeks later, everybody's joining and excited on December 2nd, and then Christmas is gone. Like, that's not what you don't want to leave here. You want to leave here transformed, motivated, with a plan. You don't want to leave here going into Christmas wondering about, well, I was all hyped up. I got in it. That's not what this is. And so these platforms are out here, and unless you have proof of revenue, which is very, very difficult to find in this space, where you actually have proof of income, is the money that I'm putting in actually going directly to wherever the source of the narrative of how they're making money. And then number two, can I see exactly how they're making the money? So that when they're paying me back, they're paying me back with the profits and not paying me back with the income that I put in there in the first place or somebody else's income. If you can't see that really from a third party perspective, it's going to be hard for me to trust it. And it's not necessary. So adding platforms to this community is not necessary. There's enough of you guys out here and myself that if we like a particular platform, you can contact our community later. But let's put that down, because like you said, there's only one that I know of as well that's still here, that's still performing. And I could tell you there might be some other outliers that are around, but you still can't trust them either. There's a project that was doing well for a couple of years, and so then all of a sudden it was paying you 1%, and they said, well, now we got to pay you half of that per week. That's just too much. If you don't have all that figured out as a company, as an organization, and you need more new money to kind of get back going again, then we already know what that is. Mm-hmm. So I, in my conscience, can't bring a platform to our event knowing that I don't believe that that is the best and most effective way for our community to invest their dollars. If you're going to do it from a casino perspective, I'm all in. But if you're going to do it because you want to feed your family with it, then come to the event and actually learn real ways that you can effectively make money for your family.
Awesome. All right. So we talked about, okay, so I'm just going to go through and answer like a short answer.
I appreciate it. You're prepared for this. Go ahead.
Yeah. All right. So one of the questions was, how are the YouTube leaders connected to the event? We kind of talked about that. They're going to be there, some as subject matter experts and some to show support on what our end goal is and getting people to where they want to be financially. The next one was, where can I go to learn more about the event and buy my tickets? We talked about that. Core4Summit.com is where you're going to go. You'll be able to see more info on the different topics that's going to be talked about, and some of the other leaders that have actually already done YouTube videos on the subject as far as the event goes, and you can go and watch those videos also.
Yes.
Next question. So we didn't really talk about this, but can somebody attend virtually?
No. It's kind of like what we talked about earlier. You're not going to get the impact, and we plan on having more of these. So we're going to have, this one is going to be in December 1st and 2nd. Then the last week of June, we'll do another one, and then we'll come back and we'll do another one in December, and we'll keep doing them so that people will kind of get used to the idea of being held accountable, coming to a safe place where they know that, we're talking about how to move forward as opposed to how to recover all the time, and that's the reason why it's not being virtual, because I don't want the community at large to feel like they could be, cooking or talking on the phone while,
right,
really good positive information is happening. That
definitely makes sense. All right. What makes the speakers special? So we kind of talked about this, but I'm gonna let you go deeper into it, I guess.
Well, I'll say it like this: to become a subject matter expert, you really have to dive into whatever that particular topic is. And the group of individuals is incredible that's speaking. And their history, their journey, for you to hear it and understand it and learn it, it's just profound. So the speakers that we have are handpicked And I'll tell you, there's not, after learning what Core4 is all about, we have not had anyone turn us down as speaking in our event. So what makes them special is the fact that they have taken the time out to really provide us with accurate information that can be tested. And then also, in some cases, you're going to be able to follow up with them on how to make some serious money. And so that's what we're bringing to us. And so that's what makes them special. They're coming here as so.
Okay, yeah, you froze on that. You said coming as subject matter experts.
Not just people who are figuring it out.
Okay, yeah, I was like, wait. All right, so awesome. One last question. How can I learn more about Core4 and the leaders? And so I kind of talked about that. Well, you kind of talked about that. Also, going to the website and actually coming to the event is probably
Absolutely, come to the event.
best way to learn about the people that are speaking and how to take advantage of some of the information that they're going to be given at this event.
Yeah, so that's really it. Like, come to the event. You won't regret it. You know, we've spent more money on scams, right? And so now here you have an opportunity to really invest in yourself and really kind of have true accountability from subject matter experts, people who are doing it in this space, and you're bringing all of these different ways of making real money that's transparent, that actually has a chance to change your lives. We're bringing them to you in one location. So that breadth of knowledge is just, it's priceless. It's priceless.
Awesome. I guess that wasn't really my last question. So if you could say one thing that would, I guess, motivate somebody to come to the event, what would that be?
Do you want to change your life? Do you want to make an impact in your family? Do you want to stop really putting excuses in your way? That's what I would say. You know,
Awesome.
why not? Why not? When I was a basketball player, I'll never forget, you know, one day, and this is just a crazy story. One day I met a guy, for some of you guys, he's too old, but his name is Dominique Wilkins. And he was a human highlight film. And I was in Los Angeles, and I was probably 12 or 13 years old, and he was 6'8". And I mean, he was just huge. And so he had the ability to dunk a basketball like no other. I mean, and still to this day, as an athlete, you look at what he was able to do in the 80s and the 90s, and it's still insane. And so I met him, and I'll never forget shaking his hand. And so what I wanted to be like Dominique. And so when I started getting to the point where I was reaching my athletic peak, I mimicked him. And I mimicked him because, not because I thought Jordan might have been a better player, but I was connected. I was connected to Dominique. And so people are going to come to this event, and they're going to get connected to people that they might have seen before on YouTube or wherever, or heard about. But there's nothing like shaking someone's hand and then knowing that you want to follow that person's path with them or learn more about them. And so when we talk about being motivated, this is why we get motivated. This is why you show up to this event, because you're going to be able to shake hands with superstars. And when you leave there, you're not going to want to wash your hand. That's why you come to this event.
Awesome. Well, I definitely appreciate you getting on and talking to, even approaching me about the event. That was what, in July? I think that was in
Something
July.
like that, June, July, yeah.
Was it? It was we were at another event, and
Yep.
You talked to me about it, and I was very intrigued by the I guess the notion of getting people in stuff that's real and that's going to be here and help them reach their goals. And so I'm excited to come. I already got my hotel, got my flight ready, and so
There you go.
I'm ready to go and
Ready for you to be here.
definitely meet some of the people I haven't met so far in this space, and so it should be a fun event.
Oh, well, thank you. I'm excited you're coming. And the only reason why I knew to come up to you was why, because you're a YouTube superstar, baby. And so I said, there he is. I got to go over and meet him. I got to shake his hand. So, you know, you're Dominique Wilkins. So thank you
Oh,
very
man.
much.
I appreciate that. Well, everybody that's been watching, I appreciate everybody for coming on, watching. Like I said, if you want to be in that, I'll call it a raffle for lack of better terms, but if you want to be in that raffle for the promo code to get the $100 off of the ticket, put I want to go in the comment section, and I'll be doing a video to do that raffle, and then I'll reach out to the person that wins that raffle, and hopefully we can see a lot of you guys at the event. Those of you that haven't seen me in a while on YouTube, just know that we're really looking at building something that's gonna help the people. That's always been my goal, and that's why really I haven't been making too many YouTube videos, just because with some of the things that we've gotten involved with, we just didn't know how long they were going to be around, and the things we did think we knew how long it was going to be around, it didn't meet our expectations. So we're pivoting, if that's the word we want to use, because I definitely love helping people reach their goals and living life to the fullest. And so we'll definitely see you guys on the next video. If you're watching the replay, hopefully you get that message, as far as I want to go to the event, and I can include you in that raffle. Again, thank you, Brandon, and I'm looking forward to seeing you guys in December, and definitely getting to know you and the rest of the leaders that are going to be coming.
Man, thank you too. Thank you for your leadership, and thank you for what you do for your community.
All right, you have a good one.
You too.